Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis. Today is August 10th. Shout out to everybody watching this video. So you should probably tune back into my channel in about 4 hours, probably when this thing goes up or less. We're going to be live on the Last Word podcast right here on my channel. So come check that one out if you haven't, or watch it later if you have, missed that time frame. But this week in Destiny is here, TWID, for August 10th. And we got a little update. We did do a discussion yesterday about Season 22 abilities, armor changes preview. My Titan took a bit of a hit. Some balance changes over there. Some people like, hey, Titan's got enough. Some people didn't say Titans didn't get enough. Like Antaeus wards, for example. Some people are still not thrilled about those. So it's like the balance game is always a moving thing. I took it a little hard yesterday as a Titan, mostly just because I really enjoy Suspend, but we will see how it all plays out. You never know what the artifact is going to do as well. But we do have some cool stuff. One, thank you, Commander. Basically, earlier this year, we lost Lance Riddick. Everybody, if you've been playing the game for a while, we know the voice actor for Commander Zavala, Lance Riddick. Rest in peace. And unfortunately, he is a one that I've honestly wondered what they were going to do, because he is such an iconic piece of the story. But also on the other side, I don't think you want to kill him off yet. But in turn, some people are like, do you respect him by, kind of having something happen to him? Do you recast him and try and keep the story going? They have chosen to recast him. They've actually done a very good job. It's somebody Bungie has worked with before. It's Keith David. I've seen him in many movies. He was part of Halo. He has been around. He has done a ton of work. And if you're going to have somebody to try and continue on the role of Zavala, I think that is an excellent choice, and somebody who I can't wait to hear. It's going to be a different take slightly, because their voices are distinct. They are their own people for sure. I don't think those two voices are ones that you're going to try and match, but I do think the gravity, the voice, I still think it will carry forward and allow Zavala's character to live on to tell the stories that Bungie wanted to. So, making the best of a very unfortunate situation, I think they chose rather well, actually, in my opinion. So that one's cool. R.I.P. Lance Riddick, we miss you, but hopefully Keith David can kind of crush it going forward. So big reason I wanted to make this video, though, is the Exotic Mission Rotator is coming, and we've actually got something to look forward to here. I wasn't sure what to expect in the Exotic Mission Rotator. Just are you going to play through? Are you going to get the Exotic if you didn't before? And no, there's actually quite a bit more. So basically what they said, they want a home for seasonal exotic missions after the year that they were present for has passed, so they can be put back into the game, because we know seasonal stuff leaves. A source for seasonal exotic missions and their catalyst is big, because catalysts tend to be hard to acquire. And a new and consistent source for legacy seasonal rewards. That is probably the biggest surprise, and there is one chunk of them, which I will tell you guys a couple weapons from, that I would imagine a lot of people are going to be farming. So if you missed out on certain weapons from a previous season, and you're like, I don't want to wait for Xur to sell this thing once every 6 months or something like that, some of the weapons that are probably going to be quite valuable are going to be in here, and as things come forward, it'll be nice. So exotic weapons entering the playlist will become craftable, which is new, because not all things that we've had are craftable. Whether it's picking all the perks, whether it's like Osteostrigan, most of it's already chosen for you. Either way, you're going to be able to have whatever the best version is that you want. You'll have a normal and legendary difficulty. I will be curious how legendary is kind of balanced, but you guys know I do solo guides for just about everything, so stay tuned next season. I'll be doing a solo guide. Now, legendary, we'll explain why you'll need to do that, but I'll do probably a normal and a legendary guide for these things, just because running them solo, there's going to be a reason you're going to want to. Farming them with a group will be faster, but still a reason to run these things. Each mission will have a pool of legacy seasonal rewards, armor, and craftable weapons that have thematic overlap with their associated mission, kind of what they're tied to. Each mission features the same reward behavior, which we'll discuss. Mission dialogue and narrative move forward after each activity completion, and reset after all dialogue sets have been played. So if you play it enough that you've seen them all, you'll go back through and hear new stuff. The stuff from the beginning. Legacy triumphs can't be progressed. So you're not going to do did you do this mission solo flawlessly? That's not going to change. So first, we've got Presage. An excellent mission, very fun to play. Great vibes to this mission, honestly. And we've got Season of the Chosen as the one that it came from. We've got armor and weapons from Season of the Chosen. Also, Dead Man's Tale is now craftable with a new trait pool. So if Xur sells a god roll, you might want to buy that one, and then probably craft your god roll coming forward. I don't know what's going to be in there, but I'll probably need to take a screenshot of what it looks like at the moment so we can compare it in the future. Seasonal weapons, you got Nezaric's Whisper, an Arcglaive that I think a lot of people have used in certain situations. Bump in the Night, A Stasis rocket launcher, depending on if you're using chill clip, definitely has some place. Tears of Contrition, Hollow Denial, Firefight Without Remorse, like shotgun, auto rifle, trace rifle, scout rifle, I think. Not ones that are generally in my typical run through and run to go get, but again, we'll cover how you can get all of those eventually. Opulent Weapons, Drang, kind of also a pair to Callus Mini Tool. This was the Solar 3.0 season. We got Beloved for a sniper rifle. I know there's many people who still enjoy that one. Austringer, a nice 140 hand cannon, and the Eidolon Pursuant armor set. Basically, this one requires ownership of Beyond Light or Season of the Chosen. If you owned one or the other, you will be able to play this. So again, incentive for Beyond Light. Unfortunately, this still annoys me because it does also sound like they're not going to do any consolidation with regards to the previous expansions and making things easier. If they ever just made like buy everything all together for just a certain price and get everything, maybe, but still the pricing of stuff is kind of a frustration on my point. I understand there are financial benefits because apparently it works for them, but I will say for the community's sake and the player base, it would be nice to simplify it, but you need to own Beyond Light for that one. Vox Obscura. This is going to be Dead Messenger, also craftable. This one wasn't even craftable before. This is just your triple wave frame rocket launcher. Has an additional trait on it. It's also craftable. And again, craftable could just mean you unlock the pattern, the basic stuff is there, and you might be able to pick like one of two things. The fact that it does have an additional trait is good, which is nice. So we'll have to kind of see how that one plays out. And then your weapons from Season of the Risen, you've got Explosive Personality. That's a solar wave frame. Recurrent Impact, I'm blanking on. Under Your Skin, that is a void craftable bow. It's always nice to have bows that are craftable because those perks can be a little hard to come by. Sweet Sorrow, nice auto rifle, couple places. Thoughtless, sniper rifle, Peace of Mind. Kinetic pulse rifle for PvP that I know some people still enjoy to this day. And the Tusk Allegiance armor set. Requires Witch Queen ownership, so definitely take advantage of that one. We'll touch on it a little bit later, but if you're a PlayStation Premium or Extra, whatever passes they are, Witch Queen will be available basically for however long they put it in there on PlayStation. So this would be a time like while PlayStation owners have access to this for free, if you didn't somehow before, whenever you see Vox Obscura come up, now is going to be the time for you to run it. But the big one, and probably the most important, is Seraph Shield. Revision 0, still craftable as before, and also you'll be able to get all of its catalysts, and we'll explain how. But it is the weapons that you can get from this mission that are huge. Like, these are the ones that even somebody in my Discord that I know that I've mentioned in previous like videos and stuff like that, there are two main ones here. Fire and Forget, that's a trace rifle, tripwire canary, craftable arc bow, nice to have. Disparity, I'm blanking on some of these. Path of Least Resistance, I think that's a trace. Judgment of Kelgarath, that's going to be a solar glaive. We've got Retrofit Escapade. This is my 4th time's the charm. Target lock, rapid fire, void, heavy machine gun that people have probably seen me use in videos. You're going to be able to get it. And I know people are going to be farming the crap out of this one. The other one, the Ikelos SMG. Probably one of the most broken weapons in PvE because it's still good even after they kind of nerfed. Volt Shot, it's still that good. Hand Cannon, it's a 180. I don't love it. The Shotgun, it's fine. Sniper Rifle, fine. SMG, absolutely god tier. Same with the Retrofit Escapade, also very, very good. This also requires Witch Queen. So again, if you're a PlayStation owner and you play on PlayStation, being as Witch Queen is basically given to you while it is part of the PlayStation library, now is the time to run these if for some reason you don't own Witch Queen. You'll be able to do quite a bit there. Now, how this works, each exotic mission enters the rotator will feature the same reward behavior. First completion will award the exotic deep sight weapon, and basically you're going to get the weapon and you're going to be able to extract or dismantle the weapon to get the pattern. I would extract it and then go craft it before you delete it. Then after you've got a crafted version, then you can dismantle it, but I would extract it first. Make sure you've got it, go craft the weapon, and then, you know, Bob's your uncle. Then, each weapon of the normal or legendary version of the exotic mission will award an intrinsic upgrade. Specifically, I know this from Revision 0. It was like just slowly upgrading the stats. So for Revision 0, I remember there were 4 intrinsic upgrades. So you would have to run it on normal or legendary 4 times. Each completion of the legendary version of, and again, this is not like locked out. You're going to be able to complete it as many times as it sounds like you want to. So we'll see how long this lasts. Each completion of the legendary version of the Exotic Mission, legendary by the way, so not this is legendary only, will award a catalyst. Revision 0, for example, has 4. So you're going to need to run it on legendary 4 times to get all the intrinsic upgrades and all the catalysts. Now, I don't know how they're going to handle if there's intrinsic upgrades to Dead Man's Tale, if there's intrinsic upgrades to Dead Messenger. Maybe that's the trait they were talking about. We will have to see, but Revision 0 is the one for sure that mainly takes advantage of like the multiple run-throughs. Getting it unlocked the first time on normal or legendary, it's nice. Run it once on normal, get the weapon, you could mostly be done. So the normal and legendary versions of the missions have separate weekly reward lockouts. Weekly mission rewards. 1 guaranteed deep sight weapon that has not had its pattern unlocked, and 1 armor piece, again, and should be a little space in there, that has not already been obtained based on your current class. If all weapon patterns and all armor have been obtained for the in-rotation mission, a random world drop will be awarded. So if you've got every pattern unlocked, if you've got every piece of armor from there already, you're just going to be getting random stuff. On every completion, you will receive an additional weapon from the mission's weapon pool. Again, this is important because this is where your farming is going to come in. On every completion, you're going to get an additional weapon from the weapon pool. Not a guaranteed deep sight, just a weapon. And again, they say this will have no knockout or guaranteed deep sight behavior, but there is a chance that it will be deep sight, and it is a weapon. Remember, you won't have armor in this mix, especially once you see the armor one time on each one. So basically, every time you run it afterwards, and especially once you get the catalyst and everything done, you can just farm the sucker on normal. And every completion, you'll be able to get a weapon drop, theoretically, that you haven't unlocked. It will just be a chance at deep sight. So people are going to get very efficient at farming these things and running these things. So again, look for guides from me for the solos especially. So alongside the mission rewards, there's also a weekly challenge, kind of on your director, the big yellow thing. This weekly challenge is the same armor and weapon pool as the mission itself. The challenge rewards will output at Pinnacle power. So good to do your pinnacles if you're still trying to level those up. And we'll prioritize the rewards in the following order. 1 guaranteed deep sight weapon that has not had its pattern unlocked. So it sounds like these are like different. So the weekly mission completion, 1 time you'll get your deep sight. And then the weekly challenge, which I don't know what that's going to be. Like, I don't know if they're going to bring Vox Obscura kill 40 elites or whatever they were, champions in there. If you got to do that, there's farmable ways to do that. We'll just have to see what the challenges are. But it does seem like each week you're going to get a chance at 2. And then you're going to be able to farm the ever-living crap out of it if you want to. If the weapon patterns have all been unlocked, the challenge will award 1 piece of armor that has not been obtained. If you own both, the challenge will drop a random weapon or armor. That's it. Additionally, the exotic missions give bonus progress for genealogy. If you do it on normal, it's 4 points. And on legendary, it's 7 points. So if you are doing the genealogy quest for whatever reason, definitely good to make sure to knock this one out for some progress. Other than that, we had dev insights. As I said, I talked to you guys yesterday. If you didn't watch the video, link will be up here right about now. So you guys can click on that one. They talk about tweaks to Strand, tweaks to Titans, barricades, some PvP changes, stuff like that. Personally, Titans got hit a little bit, but I may be a little biased there. Generally just going to have to see how the changes feel. I'm not against the PvP changes. I just was kind of hoping the PvE stuff wasn't going to get hit. We'll have to see. They also say age gating changes. Now, that is a weird way to phrase it. Basically, to comply with digital service legislation around the world, starting on the 15th, and this is something I recommend logging in sometime over the course of the week of the 15th to get this done. You'll be prompted for your birth date and country of origin or residence when signing in. And this is for all Destiny 2 companion app, Destiny item manager, any third-party website that you use, whether it's Destiny recipes or anything else. All of those things, I would log back into them 1 time, knock this out so it's just something you're not thinking about come final shape or come season 22's launch. Knock it out sometime next week and you'll be done. Don't have to worry about it in final shape. They mentioned PsyOps Battleground is on the moon. It's a challenge. It's Braytech Osprey. It's not something I'm incentivized to run, so more power to you if you run it. And also they mentioned the showcase. The showcase is coming. Pre-show, 8 a.m. The real show is 9 a.m. Pacific time. So for me at Central time, it's 11, which is 1 hour before reset. It is not going to be something. I don't know if I'm going to be able to digest everything we get in here. I don't know how long it's going to be. It's probably less than an hour since the season launches at noon. But I do expect it hopefully to be a decent chunk of time, 30, 40 minutes, because they've got to talk about final shape. They've got to talk a little bit about Season 22. Not a ton, because we're going to jump in, but they still preview it a little bit, because there's always going to be a marketing trailer for it. And they got to talk about the future. So I'll be streaming this pre-show or earlier. I will be live. Come hang out, and then we're going to jump into the season, making content and all that fun stuff. And then, as I said, good news for all PS Plus and Extra Premium subscribers. You'll have access to Witch Queen. When you log in, it will be there. So if you don't have it, and you are on one of those 2 tiers for PlayStation Plus, PlayStation and Bungie are pairing up because guess what? Sony owns them, so why not? And that starts on the 15th of August as well. So that is pretty much everything. The Exotic Mission Rotator, honestly doing more than I thought. More than I thought. Having a chance to get Retrofit Escapade, Ikelos SMG is big. Craftable on stuff like DMT, Dead Messenger, new traits. Everybody's going to be running these things for a little while, especially if you own the previous expansions. If you see any of the expansions on sale for other platforms or PlayStation or whatever, it might behoove you to buy those as well. So up to you and where you spend your money, of course, but just, kind of future thinking at this point. That is about all I got in this video. Kind of looking forward to the Exotic Mission Rotator a lot more than I thought I was going to be now, because it'll be fun to jump back into these missions. Presage is fun. Vox Obscura is probably a lower man on that Exotic Mission totem pole. And then hopefully they mention they're going to be able to bring in ones, somewhere they said it. I don't know where the exact line is, but they're going to be able to bring in missions that are not listed like this. Hopefully that's like Whisper, 0 Hour in the future, and get some cool legendary loot in there as well. So that is all I got. If you enjoyed it, drop a like below, leave a comment if you want to say anything about all of what it was said in here. If you want to check out the podcast, tune back in about 4 hours from when I'm recording this one, and hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Thank you guys for the continued support. Past 100, we're at 103,000 now. So you guys have been awesome, and I will see you soon.